Hello and good evening. Do you like how I started that?
That was great.
We're together! Yay! We're not in Colorado.
We're in Missouri.
Yes.
Lauren came to visit me.
Her home state. Yes. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, what are you guys going to talk about? Is there anyone watching? Maybe we should wait until more people are tuning in.
Where do you look? Where is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone says, hello.
Hi, Tina.
Hi. Thanks for joining us tonight on a random Monday. We didn't give much of a notice. Let me make sure we're good to go.
Hello, Diane. Let us know where you guys are watching from, too.
Oh, it does say we're good. So we just wanted to come on here and say hello. It's been a while. We're not in Colorado.
No.
But we have a lot of true crime to talk about.
Yes. We are excited.
I got her hooked on a couple of things, so I'm excited to talk. Oh, wow.
A lot of people. There we go.
So he goes, OMG, y'all are back. Yes, we're back together. But we're not working together anymore, which I'm really sad about.
I know.
But everyone's coming in. California, Arizona. Okay.
New York, DFW. Nice.
Rainy SoCal. Yeah, New York. Okay. It's been so long. It's been since October since we've talked on this thing. So it's been a while.
Lauren has some new hair.
Yes. Changed it up a little bit after I got out of news. I was like, okay. Oh, someone's watching from Ashland. Bree.
Missouri.
Woohoo. Yeah. Lauren, your auburn hair looks great. Oh, thank you.
Mississippi. Nice.
Well, what are you guys up to tonight? Just hanging out on a Monday? Ready for some McFlurries? Oh, South Carolina.
Another Missouri. Yeah.
All right. So tell us, how's your new job?
Everything is going well. I still love where I work. For those of you that don't remember from last time, obviously I'm not in news anymore. I work for I work for a local marketing agency here in Missouri, and I love it. Everyone I work with is very down to earth and fun, welcomed me with open arms. So it's been good.
Good. Yeah, and I'm no longer in news either. I work for a school district in Colorado, and I absolutely love it. I'm enjoying it. I get to still tell stories, but it's more about students and what they're doing and teachers and awesome things that are happening in the school district. So I love it. I'm not in court every day like I used to be.
Yes.
Or going to court. So, or going to live, scenes of crazy things going on in the city. So I see someone is talking about the Murdaugh trial.
Yes.
Which we want to talk about because I got her hooked. But first, without further ado, let me go get something. Hold on.
Lauren has a little surprise.
Do you need napkins?
I have some.
Okay. Here you go.
Yes.
It's McFlurry.
Pardon my dog.
Oh, hi.
This is little Abra.
Anyways, we wanted to bring this back.
Come over here.
If you didn't know that whenever we would cover a case together, we would kind of celebrate the days over with a McFlurry.
Yes.
This
is
not
our tradition.
This is not really a McFlurry, but something only Missouri has, maybe.
This is only Andy's frozen custard. So if you know it, you know it's good.
Yeah.
You're familiar with it. No.
Oh, people are saying we miss y'all in court.
Don't get us wrong. We're happy that we have the stability outside of news, but we definitely miss covering news, covering trials, all the elements that came with that. So
I don't know about all of the elements.
Most of them.
So any updates as far as you know of with the Barry Morphew, Suzanne Morphew, the Morphew case?
I haven't heard a whole lot more. Obviously, it's tough not being in the state because I don't
Oh,
get to be around it as much. But I haven't really heard a whole lot.
Yeah.
I know you're still there, so you probably hear more than I do.
Well, just people just ask me what's going on.
Yeah.
Have they found Suzanne? Are they searching for Suzanne?
Yeah.
And from, the sources that I have still in Salida, it's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
I know they still have the posters and everything up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come here, you go.
Amber wants to have some of my ice cream, which I don't blame her. Anyways, so I haven't heard much about if they've, found Suzanne. I'm sure if they did, they would have, notified people. But anyways, and I'm still following very closely the Gannon Stauch case with Leticia Stauch. Still hasn't had her trial yet. I've heard that late into March, maybe. So hopefully we'll hear more about when that's going to go to trial. So, Abra.
Abby, come over here. Hey, come over here.
Oh,
There you go, play the girl.
but we are both hooked on the Murdaugh trial
Yes.
that's happening right now. I got her hooked, had her watch the documentary, watched a couple days. It went to the defense. They had a couple witnesses take the stand, including Alec Murdaugh himself, which was I think it was huge.
Yeah.
Because you don't typically see the defendants take the stand.
Thank you, Tina.
Oh, Tina.
McFlurry fun.
Yeah, that's sweet. Anyways, so what do you think of it?
I think so. The fact that there were 5 murders in 6 years, all related to this one family, cannot be a coincidence. If it was 1 or 2 really sporadically, whatever, that's one thing. But to have that many people connected to this one family that is very powerful in that community as well, that have the ability to kind of manipulate and hide in different things, that just doesn't seem like a coincidence to me.
I just feel so bad for the family of the nanny that
Yes.
they never saw any of the money from her death.
Yes,
and
didn't even know anything about it until someone asked them, "Oh, did you get the money?" And they were like, "What money?"
Yeah,
we didn't even
the
know.
sons that were supposed to get the money
Mhm.
from her death, and then insurance money.
Yeah. I think one of the saddest things for me too was even, with Mallory's death, but even when Paul died too, there was just a lot of, I don't know, it felt like people were more concerned about how to talk about the case or how to make it public and make it seem a certain way in the public eye versus we care about these lives that were lost.
Mm-hmm. I feel bad also for the family of the girl that got killed on the boat too. They wouldn't even allow the parents to go down to the scene of the boat crash, but they then let the Murdaughs allegedly go down there and see it. It's like they're the ones that their daughter's missing and they don't even get to see. But throughout the hearing, or not the hearing, but the trial itself, it's just crazy that this one man and his family had so much power over the whole, it seemed like the city, but I don't know if it's a town. I guess it's a town.
Yeah, everybody knew them. Everybody knew their
people
reputation.
Are glued to the Murdaugh trial. Yeah, it's very interesting. 23 days, I think it's been.
Yep.
So it should be really interesting to see how long the people on the jury it takes for them to come up with a conclusion. I'm curious to see how many days that they'll deliberate, because that will be really interesting.
And I think a lot of this would be different too if there weren't so many other elements aside from the mysterious deaths related to the family, like all of Alex's financial issues and the money and embezzling and all of that stuff that goes along
his
with
addiction.
it. Yes, all of the opioids. There's just so many other moving parts that, again, make it really hard to think there's no way that this wasn't done by him, or he had some sort of involvement. He may not have been the one to pull the trigger, but it just looks like he had something to do with it.
I don't like that they keep kind of blaming his addiction on his actions following, the murder of his wife and son. Like, the reasons why he called when he did, and the reasons why supposedly he had different clothes on, and I don't know, like, it just doesn't really make sense. That part doesn't. Someone's asking, what are your thoughts on his motive? That's hard. Luckily, the prosecution doesn't have to prove the motive. They just have to kind of put out all the evidence and let the jury think, what they want to think, to see. The defense is really trying to say, this wasn't a one-person job. It had to have been two people, which that will put some doubt into those jurors. Because that's really, that might weigh heavily on the jurors to decide, was this a one-person job or was this a two-person job or multiple people? Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting was the fact that he admitted on the stand that he had lied about,
which is
being in that video, which tears his credibility apart because he lied repeatedly that he wasn't there. But then also the fact that he made it seem like he was shot himself, like he was also targeted as a part of this whole situation, and then came out and said that he did it himself, or he had paid that guy to do it for him. So again, there's just so many little pieces where it's like, I feel like he's trying to cover it up or take,
The question the jurors will have to ask themselves is, did this man lie and actually commit the murder? Or is he just a terrible person and someone else committed the murder?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
All around, it's sad, though, just because there's so many people involved in this family that are no longer here. So I'm sure for those that aren't attached to the other criminal elements of it with the financial stuff, like, it's just sad because there's so many people gone now.
And so many things led up to his wife and son getting killed, like the boat crash and the financial issues, and him, like the law firm pretty much finding out that he was, taking all this money when he
from
was
his family too. Like, that was a long history.
So many different cases. I think it was like $8 million that he had taken that wasn't supposed to be his. It's crazy. And it's like, how did you get away with that for so long? Like, I do not understand how that happened without a lot of people in the office not knowing.
Yeah, I agree.
We're just reading some of the comments that you guys are posting. Who is following this case? Please put in the comments if you're following the Murdaugh trial or not, because
everybody raise your hand.
It's crazy. What's another case that you're following? Did you follow the Indiana? No, it wasn't Indiana. The Idaho murders?
I did in the very beginning. Yeah, that one was crazy just because, at least from when,
it's so brutal.
I didn't follow it deeply, but he didn't have really any connection to those people, right? Like, he didn't know them personally.
I don't think so.
Yeah, to attack somebody like that for no reason in such a brutal way.
Well, he was a criminal justice, like, he was studying criminal justice.
I remember that, yeah.
Which I've seen even in Colorado, where, like, a student was, I can't remember the name of the guy who ended up being convicted of this murder of this little girl. I believe the little girl was named Jessica Ridgway. I believe that's right. In Colorado, where she was walking to school, a guy took her and then murdered her and cut her body up. And his mother is the one that found parts of her body in his sock drawer, I think, like parts. It's crazy, and turned him in. But he was studying criminal justice. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And had it not been the mom, I don't think they would have discovered it. Anyways, it was a long time ago, but that one was really, really disturbing and sad. And it was really, really sad. But Idaho murders. It's just sad because so many people died.
Yeah.
And brutally.
Yeah.
And then for those 2 roommates that lived to have to wake up to that.
Yep.
I'm glad. I just heard that they're going to tear down the building. They're not going to let anyone else.
Oh, that's good. That's smart. Yeah.
Live there. But like some people got upset that like the roommate didn't call 911 until like noon or something. And it's like, okay, if you're freaked out that someone's in your home, you know, and also they were out partying until like 3 in the morning or something like that. Like, I'm sure she wanted to sleep in, or I don't know. I doubt maybe she didn't even sleep at all. And she just,
well, I had heard that they were having a party at their house. And so for me personally, if I'm hanging out with friends and stuff, my phone is not glued to my hip. So she could have easily gone to bed, fallen asleep. Her phone was still sitting on the couch in the living room or something. And maybe she just didn't have it. Yes, went to sleep. She's in college. Obviously, she's not waking up at 6 a.m. If they were drinking, like, there's so many different things that could have led her to not immediately call 911. And I would hope that she would have if she could have. So anything against her, we just don't know the circumstances.
Yeah. Someone posted, it was Austin Sigg, the suspect that I was talking about, where Jessica Ridgway, I believe her name was murdered. It was a long time ago, but that was the suspect name that ended up being convicted of the murder. But it was so sad. People are thinking that in the Murdaugh trial that the jurors are going to be hung, which would be terrible because there was so much time that, you know, went into this preparation and all those jurors' time into doing this. I don't think they'll be hung. I think they'll figure it out. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that they don't.
Someone from Canyon City.
Oh, Canyon City, Paula. Hey. Thanks for watching. Sorry on the, late night. It's getting pretty late there. People are waiting for the Leticia Stauch trial. Yeah, that's been a long time coming. That happened in 2020, the murder of Gannon Stauch. And we were both at the station when that case happened. And it's really, really sad. Gannon Stauch went missing in late January, and his body wasn't found for a couple months.
In Florida. I saw somebody's comment saying that she lives in that area and she drives by the memorial a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so sad because he was just such a young little boy that couldn't have possibly done anything wrong or to deserve anything like this. And
I was in the preliminary hearing for that case, and to see the evidence that they have against Leticia Stauch, there's a lot. Now she's trying to say she's insane, which I don't know. That will be an interesting and long trial as well, for sure. Everyone's asking if we watched the documentary on Netflix about the Murdaughs. Yes. And okay, is it Alex or Alec? Because we've heard both being presented in court. So it's like
everyone spells it Alex with an X. But even in one of the interviews that they include in the documentary, he says, "But I go by Alec," which doesn't make sense.
Is that just like a South Carolina thing? I'm very confused. If people just say, when they spell Alex, is it just said like Alec in South Carolina? I've never been to South Carolina, so I don't know.
We also noticed a lot of people, depending on who's talking about it, some people say Murdaugh, and then some people say Murdaugh.
Yeah.
Like there's a CK at the end of it. So we didn't know if that was another accent
thing.
See,
people are saying pronounce Alec. Yeah, Alec Murdaugh. Yeah. He got disbarred. He's not an attorney.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
It's a South Carolina thing.
Okay.
Lisa, are you from South Carolina? Can you confirm that you're from South Carolina? And that's how you say that. We would be appreciated. Murdaugh. What? I don't think so. Murdaugh? I always just say Alec Murdaugh.
Murdaugh.
Yeah. Lisa's saying. Lisa, do you know him personally? I'm just kidding. I just feel bad for that town because it seems like a small town, and they have a lot of eyes on them right now. So, but I don't think, even if, he's found not guilty of these 2 murders, I think he'll still be behind bars for a long time because of all the money he took and everything. I'm interested to know, like, are they going to charge his son, the one that's living, Buster, for what happened? Or who are they going to charge for the murder of the boy?
Stephen Smith,
yeah. Because that's been a long time. That was like the first murder, right?
Yeah.
And then...
Yep. And I think they said that they were reopening that one because of all this additional stuff that was coming out about Alec and what was happening with the rest of the family, and just drawing more parallels to how all of these things could connect to that one
There's
person.
A lot of people that think, Alec didn't do it and hired someone.
Yeah.
Which I think that's a big possibility.
Yeah.
My question is, why did he go to his mom's house for just like 15 to 20 minutes? And then, the nicknames in that trial are just insane. And then what do they name the gun? They had like a name for a gun.
Bobo or Boo Boo or something like that. Or Woo Woo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Today was interesting. Weird. But what I was saying is just like, I don't understand why if you hear gunshots on your property and that many, because there were many shots on, like, for both Paul and the mom, and if he was still on the property, I think he would have woken up, or I don't know. It's just crazy. And then a lot of people think there was more than one person that did it, and the jury has a lot to deal with that case. I think it's gonna take
moving parts.
a long time for them to come to a conclusion. But I hope they do. I really hope they do. So, if you're just joining us, we just wanted to come on here and kind of catch up. I'm visiting Sarah in Missouri. I'm not in Colorado. And we're just talking about true crime and kind of what the biggest cases are happening right now. So,
okay, so now that neither of us are in news, though, what do you miss? What was your favorite case? What was the craziest thing you covered?
I can tell you a crazy, hopefully there aren't a lot of kids watching. The craziest thing that ever happened to me in news was I was covering a court case in Alabama, and I was doing a live shot at noon, and I was by myself outside the courthouse, broad daylight. Have I told you this?
I don't think so.
And I'm like going live, and it's a terrible case about a rapist. He was convicted, and he was a serial rapist. And I'm like reporting, and there's this, like, I think he was a homeless man, was watching me go live. And before I was going live, he was asking me like questions of what I was talking about, what I would do, and how do I not like mess up and all these things. And as I was telling him things before I was going live, I could see him put like a jacket, I think, or a blanket over his crotch area. And then all of a sudden I see his, crotch area move and stuff. And I'm talking live, and then as soon as I got off live, I was getting very uncomfortable because he was sitting on a bench, like I would say maybe 10 yards away from where I was going live. And I just hurried and got my stuff back in the car. And then I called my boss and I told him what happened. But that was probably the craziest thing that ever happened to me. What about you? You can talk about the George Floyd protest. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. So when all of that was happening, we had some protests in Colorado Springs, not as bad as up in Denver. But we definitely had our fair share in Colorado Springs. And I covered that for pretty much the entire time that it was happening. That was just very eye-opening to be a part of it, because obviously, and we know this firsthand, you don't see everything in the newscast. You only have so much time to cram everything into your one story, so you don't see everything. So being out there was very interesting, but I had covered the first 3 or 4 nights of it, and I was tear gassed every single night. I was out there covering it until about 2:00 in the morning. I would come home, change clothes, go to bed, and then have to be at work at 8 a.m. the next day.
It was terrible.
And I did that for like 3 or 4 days in a row. And that was a lot, because tear gas is not fun. It's not a good time. I was very tired. And
well, you saw a lot of crazy stuff. Like people get arrested, pushed
Yes.
on the ground, and
yeah,
I remember that was tough for you.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people being tackled and arrested just simply for being in the streets. And I get it, there's no way to know who was involved in everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one time some guy was working downtown and just happened to be walking home and got caught in the crosshairs of everything and got tackled and arrested just because he was walking home from work. And it was just a lot. And there was a lot of walking, because they went from the courthouse to the police station, and just for hours and hours just walking back and forth. And I had to carry the camera the whole time, and it was just so much. It was exhausting, but it was definitely very, very eye-opening, and I'm appreciative that I was a part of that whole experience.
You also became a better photographer from that.
Yes.
Like I felt like you caught like things before they happened, as far as like, where should I be to get the best footage from that experience, even though it was very tough and you worked a lot.
Yeah. I definitely had a bad habit of, the tear gas is coming, everyone else is running away, and I'm going to run to it because I need to get the video. So that was partially on me. I'll take the blame for some of
that's
that.
okay.
But
you were doing your job, and you were doing it the best you could.
Yes. But I was telling a story from right up front as it was happening, and I was okay with that.
And there was, you weren't the only one dealing with all that. Like there were a lot of photographers across the country doing that. So what was your favorite part about, let's just say, Suzanne Morphy's case? Like, what was your favorite? Like, you got to go to the vigil. You got to meet Suzanne's brother. Like, what was your favorite experience out of all of that? Even, it's hard to say your favorite because it was stressful and.
Yeah. I think it was just really inspiring to hear people that didn't necessarily know a whole lot about her, but maybe had an encounter with her at the grocery store or cut her hair one time or something like that. But just hearing all of the positive things that these people had to say about her. And even at the vigil that they held, there were so many people that didn't know her whatsoever, had never met her, but just wanted to show up and show their support. And I think that was really awesome to experience firsthand and hear all of these great stories about her and who she was as a person. And, that was just really cool for me.
I think for me is like getting to know some of Suzanne's friends, like the sweetness that they never met me, you know, and they still opened up their hearts and they opened up their memories to me about
especially in
Suzanne.
Such a hard time too, like to tell you all of that to someone they don't know while they're going through all of this.
Yeah. Obviously I still think about Suzanne like every day, and I hope investigators are close to finding her body. And that, one day her family does get justice for her, because that needs to happen. No one just disappears into thin air, and, everyone that does go missing should be found. So
I agree.
But my best part about working in news was meeting you, because we're just such a fun friendship. And even though you live like thousands and thousands of miles away, I swear we literally caught up and it was like we hadn't been gone for a while, which is crazy because we just caught up where we left off, So it was really fun.
So what questions do you guys have for us now that we're here together? Ask us some fun questions.
Anything you want to know about, even the news life, like Do we get to have makeup artists? No.
No.
We have to do our own makeup
In
and
the
hair.
car.
Yeah. As we're going.
In a blizzard.
Yeah. Do you see any good questions? Dynamic duo. Yes, Sherilyn.
That's a great way to put it. Here you can scroll back up.
People are saying justice for Suzanne. People are saying that her case affected them forever. Her poor girls. People are like, did you get custard? I'm jealous. Yes, of course. It's Monday. We have to have McFlurries. Are we going to write a book? Ooh. I don't think I could do that until the case was resolved. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could, but
I don't know how the legality of all of that would work.
Yeah, I don't want to
ongoing case.
Yeah, I don't want to, I don't know, cause any issues with the case.
How is having weekends off now? Oh my goodness, it is wonderful. I have a normal
Teresa
schedule.
Fountain, hi.
I have a normal schedule. It is great.
Yeah,
I get holidays.
Yeah, it was
that are just included.
We didn't have to work in the blizzards.
Yes, when it snows, I get to work from home.
Yeah, it was so nice to not have to go out in the blizzard. And also having the holidays off was really, really nice.
Yes.
Is Lauren married? Yes. I am married. Yes. I am married. It was beautiful. My wedding. She was a bridesmaid.
I was.
So. KC Masterpiece, Missouri, Kansas. Okay. You guys have any other questions that you want to ask us? Earlier, we talked about what we were doing. So if you missed that part about our current situation, please you can go back, I think. What's the best and worst part of your job for both of you? I think the worst part of the job was not getting, not respect, but not getting the recognition from the people that you worked with. And then also obviously the pay in news is terrible. So it was you were putting in all these hours to do the best work you could. And it was very high stress job.
Very physical at times too, and
not getting any feedback at all, whether it was good or bad. You're is this worth continuing?
Yes.
So I think that was the hardest. And then the best was getting to know people that I wouldn't normally know, talking to so many different people from all different backgrounds, getting to know them, getting to tell their stories, getting to be very creative with doing the story, which during COVID, it sucked because we would only be able to do Zoom interviews or FaceTime interviews, which was terrible because you couldn't be as creative with your video. And that was probably why. And it was just you talked about COVID at least 4 to 5 times a week, which stunk. I was at the end of it, I was burnt out. Yeah. So anything, do you want to talk about your best and worst?
Well, worst was a lot of what she was saying is you put all this time and effort into creating this incredible story and making it the best you can. And then you hear nothing in return, which is fine. Obviously none of us expect a nice pat on the back for every single thing we do, but just acknowledging when there are certain situations where you have to go above and beyond and you do that and then you hear nothing back.
Getting exclusive interviews and not hearing any congratulations or good job or anything. That was really hard.
Yeah. The best part for me though was similar to hers, but just getting to tell a lot of really fun stories. Obviously it is news, so there are a lot of negative things that we covered, but being able to tell the fun stories of, the veteran that's turning 102 or something like that, or just a lot of really positive things that were happening in the community. Those were always really fun. I really loved doing the fun live shots as much as I hated being in the snow and 3-degree weather. It was a lot of fun doing like funny snowman live shots or snow angels or
sledding.
Yes, like there were a lot of ways that we could be really creative, and that was a good time. But yeah, the stress was not fun 99% of the time.
And the stress of like getting to the place on time and then setting up the live shot and making sure you got the information you needed.
Hoping you have the service to actually do the live shot.
Service, yeah. Like in Salida, there's hardly any service in places, and sending back video to make sure that we would get on air on time. That was stressful too.
Yeah.
Let's answer some more questions. What is there to do in Missouri?
Yes. Well, it depends where you're at, but there's Branson, Missouri, which is a great time. That's really fun for families, adults, everybody. I learned this going to Branson in December. There's a little town called Uranus, Missouri. It's hilarious. If you don't know anything about it, look it up. The only reason it's famous is because there's a fudge factory. And for 20 miles, you will read nothing but billboards that say the best fudge comes from Uranus. And it's just great. It's a really fun play on words. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, there's the St. Louis Cardinals, Kansas City Chiefs, there's a lot of sports teams and stuff to do, going to the Arch. There's a lot of fun things to do in St. Louis, going to Mizzou basketball games, football games, different things like that.
She's a Mizzou grad, so she went through the journalism school there, which is like top notch in the country. So
unfortunately, there's no mountains, so I do miss that.
Yeah,
I do miss waking up and seeing that every day, but
yeah,
it's nice because I'm closer to family.
Everyone's saying barbecue is really good.
Yes, toasted ravioli. Have it. Try it. Love it.
Casey Masterpiece?
I'm assuming that's a restaurant.
No, I think that's like a barbecue sauce. Masterpiece is a barbecue sauce, I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Either way, I'll have to try it.
Very appreciate on how you. Oh, they're very sweet. Thank you for reading some of your information. Someone had mentioned that
Cardinals rule. Yeah.
Barry Morphew moved his business back to Indiana. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I pointed that out to you.
That's great.
And then people are asking if he's still with that Shoshona girl. I don't know. I don't know their relationship status. So it's not like I still talk to them. No, I don't know. Someone says,
whoa.
Yeah, someone says Mizzou sucks. Go Illinois. Oh, is that like a...
Oh. Those are
Mary.
Words, Mary.
Any other questions you have for us? We just wanted to hop on here and say hello, and that we are still, true crime followers, and we follow a couple different cases, and we talk about them. Yeah, and we're besties. I'm visiting her in Missouri. So
I know last time we were on here, you guys were asking, do you guys still talk or keep up with each other? Absolutely. Yeah. We send each other videos all the time. We call each other when things are happening.
Yes.
It's great.
And of course, when Leticia Stauch's case goes to trial, we'll talk more.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe I can do some of these videos with you, and we can talk about that case, because we were both there when, he first went missing, Gannon, and I was in the courtroom a lot of when Leticia had many hearings, and so we'll probably follow that case pretty closely too.
Yeah.
And of course, the Murdaugh case is very intriguing to us.
I'm very interested to see how that turns out.
So, well, let's do one more question, then we'll hop off. We just wanted to say hi because we're together and we're like, McFlurry Mondays.
Yes.
Justice for Gannon. True crime. I'm addicted to so many. Oh, do you watch any other Netflix shows with true crime? I really enjoyed, if you haven't seen it, I think it's I Just Killed My Dad.
Oh, is that on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very good if you haven't seen it. It's really interesting. If you guys have any true crime movie documentaries or series that we should watch, put it in the comments. I also I'm going to be intrigued by the Doomsday Killers. I think that's what they're called. It's a Utah couple who their kiddos went missing.
Oh, you were mentioning this to me.
I think Tylee. I can't think of the other names. But I have some friends that reported on that case pretty closely. They found their bodies in the backyard of the dad. It was terrible. Oh, thank you.
The Snow Girl was excellent.
The Snow Girl. Is that a show?
I don't know. I just like it. Sounds funny.
Uh-huh.
Tylee and JJ.
Tylee and JJ, yes. The Daybells, yes. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you. Lori Vallow, yeah. That one's going to be something I think I followed closely too. And if you haven't seen, there's a documentary on Netflix about that one too.
Okay.
But because it was Utah and Colorado, so close to Utah, and then I had some reporter friends that worked at a couple of those stations in Utah, I was very, like the kiddos were missing and the grandparents were like the only ones that seemed to care about these little kids that were missing. And the mom was like gallivanting in Hawaii and like with her new husband. And then he had like book that came out and he like thinks that they were zombies and it's bizarre. It's really good. If you haven't watched or seen anything about that, look that up. That was a very interesting case. Aw, everyone's doing well. Thank you.
Okay, it's a movie. Okay. I get it now.
Oh, the one in the snow?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anyways, the Snow Girl is what Jenna is telling JJ. Any other questions? We'll do one more question because we've been on this for 42 minutes. We were just going to hop on for a little bit and then
Just wanted to say hi.
Yes. Yeah, they came to Maui for the weekend and the kids were still missing. It was terrible. There's a lot of death in that one because I believe like her husband died as well as like, I don't know, it's crazy. Lori's husband, the first husband or something, died too. All right. Well, any last words you want to say?
Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy she came to visit me.
Oh, someone's saying, do I get summers off? No, I still am working during the summer, but it's shorter hours because there's no kids in school. But anyway. Oh, Lori was once on Wheel of Fortune. What?
We both read that at the same time. We're like,
oh yeah. I do remember watching that episode. Anyways, okay. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an awesome Monday night. Hopefully when, cases that we followed go to trial, we'll be able to do this more often.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.